Why, hello on this beautiful fall day in downtown Brandon. This is Emmy's Downtown Walkabout, where we showcase some of the great stuff happening here downtown. So we are right now on the beautiful 10th Street between Rosser and Princess, one of our more picturesque locations in downtown Brandon, just chock full of businesses. We have law firms, lots of professional offices, Pure Dance over there. We have Brandon School of Dance. And as we walk up, we have the O&O Coffee, we have BDO, Sampson Engineering, just so many businesses along here, and new businesses moving in, which is what's really exciting. It makes this area, the vibrancy growing in here is just fantastic to see, and we love supporting our new businesses. So let's go take a visit to one of our newest downtown businesses here on the picturesque 10th Street, Brandon. So as we see here on 10th Street, let's see who we have here.
Andy!
Scott! Hello!
How's it going?
This is Scott, and Scott, we're just talking about all the great businesses on this location, and you are our newest business here.
Yes.
So let's go see what this is all about.
Come on, let's go see Corey Trumley, the owner.
Okay, so we are at I Want That Stuff in their new home, downtown Brandon, 10th Street. And let's see what Corey is up to.
Hi.
Corey. Hello, how's it going?
Not bad, yourselves?
Good, good. I was just saying how you just moved into one of my favorite streets in downtown Brandon.
It's a fantastic street.
Yes.
Lovely views, great paintings on the walls from the older buildings.
Yeah.
These beautiful ceilings.
Yes, the ceilings are phenomenal. So, okay, so let's start at the beginning. So we're at I Want That Stuff. You're the owner.
The new owner, yes.
The new owner. How long have you owned it?
Less than a year.
Less than a year? Okay, well, congratulations. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, what is I Want That Stuff?
I Want That Stuff has been kind of Brandon's local game and hobby store for about the last 13 years. James Rooster started up actually just down the street, a bit further on 10th Street there.
Okay.
And it's grown from, a small shop front on 10th Street to a gaming cafe at one point to our current form. Changing over the years as the city's changed.
Right, right. Okay, so you actually started on 10th Street. I didn't know that. That's a super fun fact. So
Yep,
it's been
we're
like
just
full circle.
Full circle.
Coming
We're just
home.
a bit further north than we were.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. And how's the move to downtown been?
It's been great. The local businesses in the area are great. People have been really enjoying the new look, the new vibe. It's been an excellent move. We really enjoy the new atmosphere and ambiance that downtown brings.
So something that I've seen on social media and by talking to Scott and other businesses is you guys are doing collaborations with other downtown businesses, which is one of the great things about downtown is how all the businesses work together. So tell me about some of the collaborations you've done down here.
Oh, absolutely. We've been working with Sid at Section 6 for promoting some hobby nights and paint takes that they've done in conjunction with their events.
Yeah.
We're going to be working with them on some trivia nights with some kind of a nerdier, gamier theme in the upcoming. The great folks at Shea Angela have been very helpful. We've collaborated with them for a couple events and are hoping to be offering some of their offerings to our people here using our games room.
Right.
Tons and more than we haven't even got a chance to work with yet. We're hoping to work with Lost Brothers downtown here, Kicking Axe Throwing, The Dock.
Yeah.
Too many businesses downtown to name that are great fits with our customers and our kind of vibe we want.
Yeah, for sure. That cross promotion, and I mean that supports everybody, right? And makes it like a really.
We're all in this together, right?
Yeah, so. And then it gives people when they come down just that more like varied experience, right? And they get to experience multiple businesses at one event. So
Absolutely.
That's awesome. So, do you want to take me on a tour of the store?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, where should we start?
Well, we can start kind of right where we are. Honestly, This is kind of the control center of the building, kind of the front desk. Pretty standard for every store. You gotta have a front desk.
Yeah.
But we have our card packs for hockey, sports, Pokemon, Magic, all kinds of trading card games are all up front here,
Okay.
as well as our kind of like incoming area. All kinds of new stuff is always showing up. There's always new things to game. And the kind of brain of the whole operation is our kind of back room. It's where we store our 250,000 Magic cards, Pokemon, Lorcana, sports. They're all sorted and cataloged for easy access for people to get the cards they're looking for, whether from 1991 all the way to stuff that came out last week.
So if I came in here and said I'm looking for this Pokemon card, you guys could find
we can find it, no problem.
Okay.
I have that pulled for you inside of a minute.
Yeah, nice. Very organized, nerdy and organized.
We had some time during COVID's downtime there to do some reorganization. We made that jump to go digital and move everything as well onto the e-commerce.
Right.
So it turned out to be a blessing in disguise because the 2 weeks that Brandon was shut down with just Brandon. We're like, you know what, we got some time. Let's finally do this project. And how long could COVID possibly last for? So we might as well get it done now. And then we're like, oh, I'm glad we got this done. So
Longest 2 weeks ever.
longest 2 weeks ever. But
So you have a digital, like an online market?
Yep, we ship all across Canada and the world. As far as we've sent stuff to Norway, Japan, all across Canada and the United States.
Okay.
We can fulfill orders of basically anything we carry. We can get to you.
Okay, nice. Okay, so you have your
once
trading cards here.
Yeah, out of kind of a minute, we go into this is our miniature gaming kind of area. This is all your stuff for painting and building miniatures, as well as your supplies for card and hobby games, your protective sleeves, your binders for organizing. I know too many times I've got cards laid out all over my desk. And I'm like, I really should put these in something.
Yeah, and so miniatures. So tell me, are these are figurines, like small figurines that people paint? Now, are those just to collect the figurines, or do you actually use them in games?
Some are collectible, like the Gundam, very popular set of miniatures that people build and collect.
Yeah.
Some of them are for games. Warhammer 40K is a very popular one, kind of a futuristic war game. There's Sword and Sorcery from Age of Sigmar, as well as several Star Wars themed ones. Where people will build and paint their own minis from scratch to use in these games.
Okay, so you sell the minis, you sell the paint.
The minis, the paints, the glue, the tools, the little fake grass bits you can put on the bottom to make them look rad.
Oh, and now, if I'm not mistaken, and we'll check this out maybe after, you actually have space to paint?
Absolutely, we have space for painting and for gaming, as well as terrain, so you can lay out your table and get a game in with somebody. Not everybody can fit a full gaming setup in their house, so we're happy to provide space for that.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, let's keep going. Where
moving up, as we go up from the miniature area, we get our Gundams. This is also kind of our figures area, so people with who collect figurines for various shows or gaming series. We do have a selection of figures as well as I mentioned the Gundams, which are kind of the classic big robots from anime that you build yourself.
Okay, so you build them yourself.
Yep, and they've actually got newer, pretty neat ones of Pokemon to kind of build and collect for Pokemon.
Okay.
So that giant magic carp at the top there is a big magic carp that you build yourself.
Okay.
These ones don't need painting, although there are some incredible artists out there who do like custom paint jobs and dioramas with them. Some incredible artists out there.
Okay, and could you also order in, like, say somebody wanted, like,
Oh,
certain
absolutely.
ones?
We work with distributors all across Canada, and we can bring in a pretty deep back catalog of stuff for people.
Nice. Okay, and then what do we have next?
Going forward into board games. Board games have been bigger in the last, I think, 10 years than ever.
Games. Okay, look at these board games.
Choices galore nowadays, from the classics, your chess, checkers, backgammon, all the way to ones based on popular film, television, and video games like Worms, or brand new developments from some of the top designers out there. Decorum is huge. It's been great. Quaxi Quedlinburg, a personal favorite. Potion building game.
Okay, so when I look at this, now it's been a while since I've bought board games, but I see one I recognize. I see Clue, but these are all such unique games.
Absolutely.
And so what I'm thinking is you probably have a game for everyone. So if somebody was looking for like a Christmas present,
we definitely try to have something for everybody.
They could come in and say, you want a trivia game, or you want a role-playing game, or you
absolutely.
want... Okay, so
everything from 2 players through to 20 players in, pardon me, in social deduction, problem solving, I love the old Risk games, direct combat ones.
Yeah.
Also ones that tie in with the miniatures. There's a lot of games now that come with their own little miniatures you can make.
Right. And so do they come pre-painted?
Most of them don't. Some people, some do, but most people I think like to put their own spin on it, like make the game really theirs. The Cyberpunk game has a ton of really nice minis, but just waiting for a coat of paint.
Nice. And this is so like, these, you know, like I think we all talk about it, like, and there's nothing wrong with, you know, the digital age and digital games, but the fact that you have so much choice with kind of that throwback to the board games and
Absolutely.
in person and all that is
I
fantastic.
think COVID really showed that, well, digital is good and absolutely has a place.
Yeah.
You know, being able to play with people online was a huge asset. There's a lot of people who just, it's tough to be, you know, playing in a room with somebody, actually
Yeah.
getting that in-person experience.
Yeah.
Like it can't be replicated over a webcam, right?
And something else, which we'll come back to, but that you also provide here in your store.
Yes, absolutely. We have a space for board games, and we maintain a board game library as well.
That's
So as a
amazing.
smaller one we have at Section 6 currently.
Okay.
We provide a few board games to them as well for a board game library. I think we're looking to do it more places here in the city.
Awesome. So if you want a board game library,
Yeah, reach out. We'll be happy to hopefully set you up with one. Because sometimes, you know, if you got folks who are just having a good time, they just want to do something in their downtime and
yeah.
have a couple rounds of a board game, it's nice to have.
Yeah, it's a nice option when you're out for lunch or supper or just out for some
Absolutely.
drinks. Okay, what do we have up here? Dice.
This corner is going to be most of your D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder, the Star Wars role-playing game, all your RPG needs.
RPG.
D&D is probably the most popular it's been since the 80s.
Really?
Shows like Stranger Things have really brought it back into the zeitgeist.
Yeah, yeah.
And we have all your supplies you need for that, your dice, your battle maps, dice trays, dice towers, storage, the books themselves, miniatures, a lot of which we actually source from local creators. We have Foresight Minis does a lot of great local 3D printing of fantasy minis. That big old dragon is one of his there.
Yeah.
Five-headed Tiamat
Five-headed
dragon.
dragon. That is looking for a coat of paint. from
Absolutely.
someone.
A bit beyond my skill level. That's looking for someone to tackle. though.
Somebody who's very patient.
But we also have like dice created by local dice makers, people doing 3D printing accessories. Gaming is all over West Manitoba and Brandon in particular. We have creators, we have gamers, we have writers. Some of our games we stock have contributions from local writers
Okay.
and creators.
And that's one of the things that I personally love so much about downtown is that most of the business down here are locally owned, right? Locally
Absolutely,
owned,
yeah.
locally owned, operated, and local support, right? Like you support
Absolutely.
local, artists. They support back
Yep,
other local
it's a
businesses.
community.
Yeah, it is because it really
Absolutely.
is a community. So I didn't realize there was local dice makers. Like this is amazing.
Like this is probably one of our other ones are from Fox and Hare, just a creator out of Forest
Okay.
who makes beautiful sharp edge resin dice.
My God.
They're so nice. I have a couple sets of them at home, and they're all handmade, sharp edge resin with ink. They call them inclusions. You can put stuff in the dice now before they kind of
Right.
dry. So you'll get like a little, like inside the middle of the dice, you could have a liquid core. You could have a little tiny dinosaur there for a themed
You
dice.
could
It's
have
unreal.
So a person could get maybe custom dice made.
Absolutely,
okay?
it's definitely a longer process to get custom ones, but there's definitely stuff out there for everyone's taste nowadays. You
Yeah.
have your classic dice, you've got ones made of rubber if you don't like the sound of the click clack of dice.
Oh.
I love it personally,
Right.
but to each their own.
Yeah.
You've got dice made of semi-precious stones, wood. There's a company down in the States that makes them out of mammoth tusk, which is crazy to me.
That is crazy. And look, coming up on Christmas, we have Dice Advent Calendars.
Dice advent calendars. Advent calendars have been big the last few years because people are. You think you'd be good after one set of dice, but people just love having a variety. So sometimes
Yeah.
getting a new set of dice is sometimes it makes your whole day because maybe your old dice aren't treating you well, so you need some new ones.
Your lucky dice. Yeah, no, well, they're beautiful. Okay, what do we got behind you?
This corner is going to be mostly comic books.
Okay.
We do carry a selection of graphic novels and used, I guess pre-owned, I guess would be the way to go, comics. Brandon is unfortunately sans a comic book shop since the bridge was built. The
Oh, I
new bridge
didn't know
went up.
that. Okay.
Yeah, we did have a great local shop here, but unfortunately did not reopen after the bridge came in.
So you are Brandon's comic shop now.
We are not a new comic shop, unfortunately. It's something you need a dedicated workforce for that we
Right.
haven't been able to expand into yet. But we do try to keep the fire burning with comics, comic grading. We can help people price their old collections that they might have just sitting at home in their closet.
Great.
We also have the supplies for safely storing and maintaining your comics, the
So-
protective bags and boards and the like.
So if someone had comics, do you guys buy and sell
Yep,
comics?
we buy and sell collections all the
Okay.
time.
Nice.
Or some people just looking to get some knowledge. Some people
Yeah.
have, I've had a box in my closet since the 60s.
Yeah.
Is there anything noteworthy here? And we've seen some wild stuff come through the door for comics and cards where people have just
Right.
had in a shoebox and,
Or their kid left it behind.
or their kid left it
something.
behind,
Yeah.
and we'll be like, oh hey, like you're sitting on some fantastic issues here,
Yeah.
some key first appearances.
And I
or-
see some old school Nintendo games
Yep,
there.
we do carry a smattering of retro video games as well.
Yeah.
We try to do a little bit, we have the stuff that people want, so we try to carry a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
But retro cartridge games are honestly just like board games. Sometimes like you can play digital versions or newer versions, but there's something nice about having the old school controller in your hand,
Yes.
firing up your old Super Nintendo, and I mean the things still work. They're built like tanks, those things. So
And like there's a nostalgia to it.
there's a nostalgia
right?
to it. There's
For sure.
there's definitely that hard to replicate when just doing it through a computer, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And bringing back those childhood memories. And so I see you have a whole wall here of video games.
Yeah, this is
comic
kind of
books.
our showcase. Yeah, we have kind of an area for people to sit and browse, or even if they want to like peruse one of the bins, we kind of have a sitting area here.
Perfect.
And then it kind of overlooks our card showcase. We had these built actually by Horizon Woodworking here locally.
Okay.
And they did phenomenal work. Custom cabinetry sized up for comic books and for cards. And yeah, it's incredible work from those guys. And this is where we keep some of our more high-end cards, ones that you just want to keep a little bit like, out of the light a bit more.
Yeah.
Hands off sometimes. Cards
Yeah.
can be pretty valuable, especially with the older ones. So
Right.
we do try to keep them in a safe and good condition.
So I'm just
Ditto
gonna, I'm
our
gonna take
comic
a
books
peek
as
here.
well. Kind of a selection of either some old favorites that are ungraded,
Right.
some early appearances of the Flash, all the way to graded comics. We do facilitate grading services for
So what's
people.
grading mean?
Some people like to kind of get not just a read of like how valuable their comics are, but what shape they're in.
Oh,
And a number
okay.
of companies will actually safely encapsulate your cards or books in these cases, which are UV protected. They're sealed, and it kind of like locks in the quality of your book. They'll assess it on a 1 to 10 scale,
Yeah.
and then they'll send it back to you with this nice tag that tells you like what the book is, anything noteworthy about it, and your grade from 1 to 10.
Oh, interesting. I see. So,
And for high-end collectors or for the serious collectors, a grade is a great way to know you're getting a good quality collectible.
right.
So in this case, some of the newer ones will be generally trending towards those higher numbers, the 9.6s, because this is from like 2013.
Right.
But you'll have stuff that goes all the way back to like the 90s, the 80s,
Yeah.
way sooner. And tough getting those high-end good grades because they've been
Yeah.
around for years.
Yeah.
They're older than I am, and
Yeah.
I know I'm not half as good a shape as some of these books are.
Yeah, like from here they look good, but yeah, to get that professional kind of appraisal or opinion,
Yep.
and then some peace of mind to the purchaser.
Peace of
You
mind,
know,
sometimes
just
for
look at
insurance,
it.
even if you have a collectible that has been in your
Right.
family and you really want to keep that safe. And some insurance will need it to be graded sometimes.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes it's for practical reasons, sometimes it's just nostalgia, or you've got a book you've loved as a kid and you want to keep safe for another 20, 30 years.
So you can hook people up with that service.
Yep, we do it
Yeah.
seasonally for cards, comics. There's other places now that they're getting into grading old VHSs, money, magazines. There's a real push to preserving those old collectibles and those things that people want to keep in shape for another 40 years.
No, so you're telling me I shouldn't purge so much. I should hold on to stuff.
There's a certain catharsis in being zen and purging
Yeah.
it down, but there's also the collectible gremlin in my head is like, ooh, must have cool thing.
Right. Keep it. You never know. You never know.
Well, they don't make some of the collectibles like they used to. Some of these, covers are iconic.
Right.
Artists that are no longer with us that are, but they're still making like TV and movies. This is, Black Suit Spider-Man, the Venom movies. They're still making media based on the stuff of the 80s and the 70s, and seeing the originals is awesome.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, and maybe there was they weren't quite so mass produced.
Yes, there's definitely a changeover, and then of course the ravages of time. But
Yeah.
they definitely made a lot less stuff
Yeah.
back then. But you'll see some incredible stuff that's kept in good shape over the years. We've had trading cards from the 50s that were still in really good shape, despite being. We all live in Manitoba. The
Yeah.
humidity, the heat,
Temperature
the
changes.
temperature, the cold, and some of the stuff really takes a toll on this. But So people have some incredible collectibles, and
So this is almost like a little like art gallery or museum of sorts. You have
yeah,
this
almost
right here.
honestly. Like
Yeah.
there are those who think the comic book is like the like modern American form of art. Like,
Yeah.
like this is the thing they do better than anywhere else.
Right.
And looking back at this stuff, yeah, there's you can definitely see the influences of like classic art all the way up to the modern styles.
Yeah. No, it's very cool, and just to kind of look at the, you know, the different artwork and the different, you know, genres of comics here and everything. So we have some more collectibles. Some of your
Absolutely,
more-
yeah. Mostly
your cool
collectible cards here.
Yeah.
These ones are mostly ungraded. A lot of the card games nowadays, people like having copies to like play the games that they play.
Right.
Hard to do when they're in a
In a
big
case,
sealed case.
yeah.
But we'll keep them into the protective plastic shell to kind of keep that extra layer of protection on them.
So is everything in these cases for sale? Or is
Oh,
some of it-
absolutely.
Yeah, it's all for sale. Okay.
Yep.
Oh.
If I kept all the things I wanted to keep, like.
This is like your rotating collection.
But yeah, we got Pokemon cards here from the original set, like that came out in the '90s, all the way to new cards from the last like month.
Oh, okay.
They run the whole gamut of time and design. And when I was a kid, you know, there was only 151 Pokemon, and now there's well over 1,000.
Yeah.
And people are still loving it. We still have kids come in, looking to get their pack of Pokemon, just like when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So it's great to see that some of these hobbies like transcend time.
Yes. Yeah.
Between Pokemon and Magic, and then a bit of hockey.
Yeah.
There's a card game or a collectible for everybody nowadays.
There is, and it's really like generational too, because I know my kid's dad has a whole Magic the Gathering collection from when he was a kid.
Absolutely,
Right?
yeah,
And
from the
now-
early '90s there,
and,
right?
Yeah, and now it's back, so it's fairly timeless.
Oh, seeing people come in with their kids and being like, "Oh, hey, like I used to play," or the Pokemon like I collected still a thing. Like, oh, absolutely. Like
Yeah,
seeing like parents coming in and be able to share something from their childhood with their kids is great.
it's that nostalgia again. Okay, all right. How about?
Yeah, that's mostly our front room here. I can take you guys to our gaming space in the back if you'd
Let's
like.
go check out the back. Am I correct in that having this larger space has allowed you to create these rooms back
Oh
here?
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Our kind of main issue we were starting to run into at our prior place was space. We have a ton of local groups who love gaming,
Right.
but you know, people need space to play, and we have more gamers than ever. So
Okay.
we've been needing the extra space, and we found it here with this location.
Nice. So business is growing and booming here, and
Growing, and
people are-
people seem quite happy with the new location downtown here. So
Oh, look at this.
yes, this is the first of our 2 gaming rooms.
Okay.
This one's set up more for board games and card games, where you just want kind of a normal sized table, so you can kind of see what the person across you is doing. We run weekly events here pretty much every day of the week.
I was gonna say, because the Downtown Biz, we keep a calendar of events,
Yep,
and you guys have
absolutely.
ongoing. It is almost every day of the week.
Every
But you
Mondays, I
guys-
think.
Okay, every day but Mondays, there's people gathering
Yep.
here, which is so valuable, right?
It's good
So
to have a
valuable.
place to gather. Some people
Yeah.
just need a place to go and the thing to do, and sometimes like you can't get that. I'm from a small town, and sometimes there's just nothing you could really do with friends. There's
Yeah.
too
Or to find friends that, you know, somebody else that likes Magic the Gathering. You might
finding
have friends,
like-minded
but-
individuals.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Yeah, finding
Yeah.
new people to experience it.
Yeah, that share kind of your same passion and interests and everything. So you give people that space to do that. And I see a bunch
Absolutely.
of board games back
Yep. We
there.
maintain a board game library. We're always moving things in and out of that.
Okay.
There's tons of new trends and games all the time, so we try to keep up with some popular titles or ones that fit very nicely into being able to play in an evening with some friends.
Yeah. So do you guys test out the board games so you can give honest reviews
There's
to people? or-
Too many for me to keep up with, but we do try to keep up to the best of our abilities. We'll try the new ones kind of in a sequence, but I'm a pretty avid board gamer myself, and I try to keep up with all the titles, but there's just so many now.
There is so many. There is so many.
But we do try to keep up with all the kind of more recent ones that, especially the really big ones, so we can give those honest reviews or
Yeah.
at least help people find what they're looking for.
Yeah. You could be like, hey, this would be good if you have at least 5 people, but under 5. It's
Yeah,
kind
we
of
got under
whatever.
5, maybe
Yeah.
this game, or people are like, oh, you like game A? Game B is a great like complement to that.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So this is room 1.
Yeah, this is our first room, which is set up for that.
And then
we
we
are currently hopeful that we're going to be doing some expansion. Actually, we're taking up this wall and making one bigger room.
Oh, okay.
We've run a trivia event here for our Halloween during our grand reopening.
Right.
We're hoping to do more of those as well.
Oh,
As well as have the space rentable for groups that are just looking for a space where they can come and have a nice, chill, quiet evening.
Okay, so people could rent it out for like a private
Absolutely.
thing if they wanted to. Okay, nice. Okay, so many options. You guys
So
are doing everything.
we try to do a bit of everything. It's,
Yeah. Oh, what do I see back here?
Yeah, this is
this is
our,
fun.
our
Oh, this
second
is so
room.
fun.
Yep. This one is
going on back
geared
here?
more towards tabletop gaming. Those
Okay.
miniature games you talked about.
Yeah. Yeah, these are bigger tables.
Yes,
They seem like
they play on a bigger table.
Yeah.
Usually needing like miniature buildings laid out or terrain they call it to kind of set the mood and the plot of what they're doing, of
Yeah.
whichever game they're in.
yeah.
And we have 4 tables on this side for accommodating events like that. We can also put those tables together as well. We've run a 24-person tournament out of here so far.
Okay.
We're hoping to do those every couple months. Basically, we do weekly leagues and then bigger events on the monthly.
So what I really love about this, and I'm not super familiar with tabletop games, but I have kids that have played games like this, and what I really appreciate about this setup is that who would have this in their house? Like, it would be so limiting
It's
if you could
tough
only
to
play
fit
it in your house.
Yep.
But people can come here and they don't have to pay for a big table or store a big table or have all these pieces. Like, you're providing
Yep.
so much that allows people to experience and participate in those games.
We saw that there was a real gap with that, where there's people who wanted to play, but actually just like getting a game in just couldn't be done. Like, it's
Yeah.
like people, they'd be making a homemade table to fit on top of their kitchen table.
Right.
No room in there. It wasn't really working for folks.
Yeah.
One of our very early ones is like, we need to get some tables built that will accommodate these bigger games and give them space to play them.
So not only are you selling like such a diverse inventory of products, but you have created a community. You've created a place for people to gather and be and share their interests and hang out with like-minded people that enjoy the same things, whether it's painting or board games or tabletop games. And I think like you're more than just a store.
Oh,
right?
absolutely. We do try to be, like, we have the store so people can get the things they're looking for, but if you don't have anywhere to like do those things, then what's the point, right?
And people to do it with.
And people to do it with.
These are very social.
Yeah, well, we do a social painting night, which is great, because some people just need someone to chat with while they're painting, so it's
Yeah.
just part of their process. Some people,
Yeah.
put on the headphones and off they go at home, but some people just like, they need that social
Yeah.
atmosphere to do social hobbies. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Okay, so we have
And this is also great for D&D. We also have these tables set up for that, where you
Okay.
have more players. You might be laying on a big old dungeon map or something. You just need the
Yeah.
extra space. So we have groups that meet and play D&D here as well.
So now what about for somebody that knows nothing about this? Say all of a sudden I was like, I want to play Dungeons and Dragons, but I don't know anything. Is that okay?
Absolutely. We have kind of a broad network of people we've met over the years and have worked with. And we can usually put people in touch with folks who can teach them how to play games.
Right.
We've done intro sessions for a bunch of RPGs. Actually, this past Halloween there, we had one of our local game designers running some Star Wars RPG
Okay.
and some Arkham Horror, kind of a 1920s Cthulhu-inspired one, as kind of a learn to play for people to try out some games and give them a
Okay,
go.
learn to play is right. I've seen that on your calendar. So
Yep.
so you're really, it's anybody. It's from brand new to experienced.
Brand new through to experienced.
Yeah.
People want to get into the miniatures game. Me and Logan on staff here are both avid war gamers for the tabletop games.
Yeah.
We've taught dozens of people how to play
Yeah.
because they just need that like jumping off point.
Well, and then if kids are interested, right? Like say you
Absolutely,
have
we've
like
got kids.
a 10 or 12-year-old kid that wants to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yep.
There's a place they can come and learn from other
We have
people.
a monthly group of mates here who has it's about 6 or 7, probably like grade 5s, and their DM who runs the game for them, and they have a hoot. So.
Yeah. Oh, well, I think what you have here is really fantastic. A phenomenal addition to the downtown.
Well, and a lot of people are really expanding onto this stuff too. We've had teachers approach us about running D&D in schools.
Okay.
It teaches a ton of, I played a lot of D&D in middle school, and I credit it to be able to do mental math really well.
Right.
It's a lot of numbers, reading comprehension. It's a ton of really useful skills.
Yeah.
And teachers are really starting to pick up on that and try to like work it into their curriculums.
Like make it interesting, like that gamification, but not digital. Like,
Not digital,
Yeah.
but gamify the learning.
Yeah.
And we've had teachers from small communities all around reach out about getting dice or things for D&D. We've had teachers here in the city who are like, oh yeah, we run every half a year we run D&D the entire half a year.
Nice.
And it's great for to have that local community building up from literally the ground up. Like
Yeah.
you've got all ages, all skills, and they're great games. Like
Yeah.
it teaches a lot of like valuable skills, I guess.
Yeah. Well, but you're just playing the
We're
game.
still having fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Because fun's
Yeah.
the core of everything at the end of the day, right? We want
Yeah.
people to have a good time, have fun with what they're doing.
Yeah, and so have people embraced your new location? How's it been like for your existing clientele, new clientele coming down, seeing the new space? What's the
It's
response
been good. There's the inevitable delay where people are like, I didn't know you moved.
Right.
Happens every time.
Yeah.
I know our first move, we had people still looking for the yarn store that had been there 15 years prior. So
Right.
there's always going to be some people who will be like, I didn't know you moved.
Yeah.
But for the most part, we see most of our old faces and a bunch of new ones, like people who never really went kind of down to that end of town, who are aware of us now being downtown and seeing us down here. So,
Yeah.
but the transition's been good. The downtown's been super solid. We love having like a bunch of great coffee shops nearby. It's
Like
been
coffee shops, breweries, restaurants.
coffee shop,
like,
brewery,
everything's
restaurants,
down here, and you bring such a
ethnic
fun element.
groceries,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Everything in
we've
walking
been loving it.
distance. Yeah. Awesome. Well, congratulations on everything. A move, an expansion. Like bringing this community together. Everything you guys are doing is fantastic. So well
Thank you,
done.
and we'll keep doing it. We're hoping to keep expanding, through our hopefully first of many years here as we we keep building.
Awesome. Okay, and so that is it for here at I Want That Stuff. Come check them out in 10th Street, downtown Brandon, in their new expanded location. It's fantastic. Something for everyone. If you're stuck on Christmas presents, get down here. And also stay tuned for our next Downtown Walkabout.